Hey there. So, I want you to think about the plants all around you for a second. In your house, in the park, they're just kind of there, right? Just sitting there being green and quiet. But what if I told you that's all just a big illusion? What if they're actually moving all the time, reacting to everything, and even talking in a kind of secret language? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on the incredible secret life of plants.
When we think about movement, our minds immediately jump to animals, right? You've got lions running, birds flying, fish swimming. It's fast, it's obvious. Plants, though, they seem to be the complete opposite. They're like the definition of stationary. But is that really the whole story? Are they truly just sitting there, doing nothing but soaking up the sun? Well, let me tell you, the answer is a big, resounding nope.
So, in this explainer, we're going to dive deep into this hidden world of plant motion. We're going to uncover some of the super clever strategies they use to interact with the world around them. And the craziest part, they do it all without any muscles or nerves, the very things we think are absolutely essential for any kind of movement.
And that right there is the big mystery that makes this so fascinating. I mean, think about it. Animals have nerves, right? They send these lightning-fast signals all over the body, and they have muscles to actually do stuff. Plants, they have none of that. Zero. So how in the world do they pull it off? How can they possibly sense danger or find food or even react when you touch them without any of the gear we think is required for action? Well, that's exactly the question we're going to get to the bottom of.
Okay, so let's kick things off with a real showstopper. This is the plant that completely shatters that myth of motionless, boring greenery. It's the big exception to the slow and steady rule, a plant with a reflex so fast you can literally watch it happen in real time.
Meet the sensitive plant. You might know it as the touch-me-not. And you can see here, one moment its leaves are all spread out and open, but then you give them just the slightest poke, and bam, they instantly fold up and droop. It's such a quick, almost shocking reaction. So what on earth is actually happening here?
Honestly, it looks like some kind of magic trick, right? But the real secret is way cooler, and it's water. Yep, just water. This amazing movement has nothing to do with muscles. It's all caused by a super fast, totally controlled change in water pressure deep inside the plant's cells.
So here's how it works, step by step. First, the plant feels the touch. That touch creates a signal. It's actually an electrical chemical signal that zips from cell to cell, kind of like a nerve impulse in an animal. This signal is basically a message, and it tells some special cells at the bottom of each leaf to pump out all their water and do it fast. When those cells lose all that water pressure, they basically go limp, which causes the whole leaf to fold up. And the key thing to remember here is that this has nothing to do with growth. It is pure, simple, reactive movement.
But that super fast reflex, that's really the exception, not the rule. For the vast majority of plants, movement is a much quieter, slower, more deliberate kind of dance. And it's tied directly to how they grow.
Just look at this classic example. I bet we've all seen this, right? A houseplant on the windowsill, bending and reaching for the sunlight. Now, this isn't just the plant getting lazy and leaning over. No way. This is an active, targeted movement called phototropism. The plant is literally growing in the direction of its food, its energy source, to give itself the best shot at survival.
And plants have this other built-in smarts too. Think about this. No matter which way you plant a seed, upside down, sideways, whatever, the roots will always go down and the main shoot will always grow up. This automatic response to gravity is called geotropism, and it's brilliant. It makes sure the roots go searching for water and the leaves head up to find the sun. It's like the plant just knows which way is up and which way is down.
So the main takeaway here is that both of these things, bending toward light and roots growing down, are types of tropic movement. And that's really the defining rule for how most plants move. It's a slow, super controlled, directional kind of growth that's a direct response to something in the environment, whether that's light, gravity, or even water. It's a very deliberate strategy, one that plays out over hours and sometimes even days.
But how does a plant actually coordinate all this? I mean, how does the very tip of a stem tell the cells further down, hey, you guys need to grow differently so we can bend? The answer is amazing. It's an invisible network of tiny chemical messengers that are basically running the whole show.
And here they are, we're talking about plant hormones. And yeah, just like the hormones in our bodies, these are chemical compounds that work as signals, coordinating pretty much everything the plant does. You can think of them as the conductors of the silent, growing orchestra, telling all the different parts of the plant exactly what to do and when to do it. Okay, let's go back to our plant that's chasing the sun because it's a perfect example of how this works. It really all comes down to one key hormone called auxin. So when the sunlight hits just one side of a plant's stem, the auxin actually moves over to the shaded side. And all that concentrated auxin on the shady side makes those cells grow longer and faster than the cells on the sunny side. So what happens? The whole stem naturally bends towards the light. It's such a simple but totally brilliant system.
And auxin isn't a solo act, not by a long shot. Plants are using a whole cocktail of different hormones all the time. You've got gibberellins, which help the stem grow tall. You've got cytokinins, which are all about making new cells. And then you have something like abscisic acid, which is like the plant's emergency brake. It slows down growth when things get tough, like during a drought. It's this really complex chemical language that's managing the plant's entire life, from seed to flower.
So when you put this all together, what you see is that plants have evolved this completely different system for talking to themselves and coordinating their actions. It's nothing like what animals use, but it's every bit as sophisticated.
This really breaks it down perfectly. In animals, it's all about electrical signals, nerve impulses. They're incredibly fast, they're precise, but the effect doesn't last long. In plants, it's all chemical signals, hormones. It's a lot slower, for sure, but the effects can last a long time and spread throughout the whole plant. And when you think about it, it makes perfect sense. An animal might need to react in a split second to run from a predator, so it needs those super fast nerves. But a plant's biggest problems are things like finding the sun or getting more water, and those are slow burn problems. So they evolved a slower, more energy-efficient chemical system that's perfectly designed for managing long-term growth.
And, this quote here really says it all. Instead of using electrical impulses, plants use chemical communication. They basically just found another solution to the same problem. They figured out they didn't need a fast nervous system. Instead, they perfected this incredibly reliable chemical network that lets them adapt, respond, and totally thrive wherever they are.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If plants are having these complicated chemical conversations constantly, right in front of us, what other secret languages are being spoken all over the natural world? What other incredible things are happening right under our noses that we just haven't noticed yet? Makes you think. Well, that's all we have for this deep dive. Thanks so much for joining me.